Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Dan Tremblay Music. Today we are going to talk all about Brian Fennell, better known as SYML, which is Welsh for simple, kind of Brian's philosophy on life and on music in general. I recently had an incredible opportunity to hang out in a Zoom chat with Brian and a bunch of other SYML fans, and he did a track by track of his new EP, Dim, which is available now, which is amazing. So today it's going to be a profile of Brian, what he's all about, and then I'm going to break down Dim track by track and give some personal insights into what I think about the music. Let's get to it. So who is Brian Fennell? He is from Seattle. He is signed to Network Records. His old band is called Barcelona. They toured all over the place for a number of years. Probably one key defining moment with his band is he had a song placement in an MTV show, The Hills. Brian is a family man. He is a father. He is a dog lover. So come on, how could you not like the guy already? Kids, you like dogs? To me, that's a win-win right there. His single Where's My Love, which was released a couple of years ago, has just recently been certified as platinum by the Recording Industry Association of America. That is a huge deal. Congratulations, Brian. He is a U2 fan and a Coldplay fan. He did a cover of The Scientist on YouTube. Got to check it out. The thing I like so much about it is Scientist is a song I've heard just probably hundreds of times, and I love the song. But he makes it his own. It's just so simple. And actually, some of his cover songs have actually been instrumental in his discovery as an artist. Case in point, my wife was listening to something, I think streaming something on Apple Music, and the next song that came on was Harvest Moon, which is a Neil Young song. Now, Harvest Moon, my sincerest apologies, Neil Young. I was never particularly fond of that song, and my wife came over and she's like, you gotta listen to this. And I listened to the song, and it was just mind-blowing. It's like Brian just uncovered what a beautiful, beautiful song that is. So my deepest apologies, Neil Young. It is a beautiful song. I just didn't hear it at the time when it came out. Probably the biggest cover song he's done that's been extremely instrumental in his career is Mr. Sandman. Now, Mr. Sandman, we know that song. It's ingrained in our culture. It's been all over music and films, and I just watched Back to the Future, great film, with my kids the other day. I don't know how many times I've seen that film. Sure enough, what comes on? Mr. Sandman. We all know the song, and Brian just turned it on its head and just created like this. It's like the James Bond theme song version of Mr. Sandman. It is haunting. It is intense. That was kind of my introduction to SYML and Brian's music. And, when you hear those kind of versions of songs that are ingrained in your culture that are just so beautiful in their execution, you're like, I want to find out more about this artist. And then you start listening to his own material, his original songs, and it's just mind-blowing. It's almost too much to take in all at once. I've probably only been listening to SYML's music for probably a number of months at this point in time. So just been this massive discovery of just listening to his music nonstop. In fact, my kids are probably going to never listen to Brian's music again because I'm playing it it's just on constant rotation right now. It's just all about SYML. And just because I just love it so much, there's just so much passion. There's so much emotion. It's just this emotional onslaught when you're listening to his music. So in the Zoom listening party that I participated in, he opened with the first single that came out called Stay Close. Now, I didn't really know the backstory behind Stay Close, what the song was about. And sometimes, when I'm listening to a song, I don't focus in on the lyrics. I'm so absorbed in the music and the sound, and it's encapsulating. So sometimes the lyrics I don't pay close enough attention to. So Brian introduced the song, and he's talking about it and the backstory, and it's all about his dad and how he lost his dad to cancer. I lost my dad when I was 21 years old to cancer. So, man, it hit hard. I was probably crying on the Zoom chat, and I was trying to kind of hide it. And I wanted to share with Brian that, I wanted to share that story and how it affected me. Of course, I was too emotional at the time, and I was hanging out with a bunch of people that I've never met my entire life. So I'm telling you now, Brian, that song hit hard, and I've just been listening to it nonstop. And what a beautiful song. I'm going to get that in a track-by-track analysis later on. So today's episode, by the way, is dedicated to my dad, Dale Tremblay, who's been gone for a long time. And it's been tough. And we probably, when it comes to stuff like cancer, we don't want to talk about it. And but it's okay. It's okay to talk about it because it's been something that's affected so many lives. And especially right now, what's going on with the pandemic and everything that's happening, and people that have lost loved ones, we need to talk about these things. We need to get it out, man. Don't hold it in. We like to kind of just shuffle it and bury it away. And, this is a good opportunity for me to talk about my experiences with losing a parent. It's this horrible disease. And let's talk about it. Let's get it out there. Let's share our stories. Let's remember our loved ones by talking about it. He's just a real deal, man. He's a guitar player, plays piano. He's got this just ridiculously amazing voice. It's that just carries so much passion. His favorite artist that he loves more than anyone is Jeff Buckley, who I'm not super familiar with his music. I know who he is, obviously. But if I could compare voices in terms of how good his voice is, and the music is very, very different, but George Michael certainly springs to mind. If you listen to The War by SYML, the vocals on that song, they will just stop you in your tracks, man. I haven't heard an artist like this in a very long time. His musical style, this is hard to pin down. I think one of my Instagram posts, I was like, I said, dude, you're like a chameleon. He's like a musical chameleon. There's soul influences, there's R&B influences, there's folk influences, there's rock, there's electronic influences. I hear jazz. I love artists. They're just so diverse, and you just never really know what to expect. So extremely diverse. I think he describes himself as a singer-songwriter mixed with cinematic. Probably why I like it so much, because if you've been watching this channel, you know that I love cinematic music, and I'm a huge fan of film music, so it makes perfect sense. So cinematic influenced singer-songwriter with just killer production and vocals and lyrics that will just rip your heart right out. Okay, that's how I'm going to describe SYML. Stay Close. It's got opens with this tight R&B groove, and with this heartbreaking building chorus, and it's just wrapped in kind of these beautiful atmospheric textures. I'm reading from some prepared notes, so I could remember all this. About a minute and a half in, you get this killer kind of muted guitar part, which to me, I initially heard, Michael Jackson from Thriller album. Now, the music, by the way, is nothing like Michael Jackson. So it's all, if you're not a Michael Jackson fan, don't worry. It's nothing like that. But in terms of production, that's why I heard this beautiful muted electric guitar part. About 2.5 minutes in, you get this beautiful, massive building bridge. And this is where the heart ripping out of your chest moment happens. You get some beautiful, passionate female backing vocals in there. I forget the name of the vocalist in there. My deepest apologies. But anyway, I'm sure you can dig it up. So that's Stay Close. Been listening to it on heavy rotation. Black Teeth starts as kind of like this pulsing bass all throughout the whole song. Kind of got like this electric muted guitar riff, which just builds and builds and builds. This song, you really hear a lot of Brian's use of kind of warped vocal textures. Should have asked him what he uses on that. I don't know, maybe a little altar boy. Anyway, some kind of plug it in there. Should have asked him. Didn't. Lots of warped vocals, mixed beautifully, and just such a nice compliment to his voice, to the main vocal part. The break halfway through, to me, was reminiscent of like a Tycho type thing. If you don't know Tycho, you gotta check out Tycho. Guy's fantastic. I don't know if Brian is a Tycho fan or not, but in the production and the use of the instruments and the synths and guitar and the way it was put together reminded me of Tycho. That's what I heard. I could be wrong. Maybe they're both listening to something similar, and that's where it came from. But that's what I heard. True starts off with almost like a Massive Attack influenced kind of beat, just this tight electronic beat, which really kind of meshes beautifully with a lot of his beautiful falsetto vocals, just kind of soar over top of a really sparse arrangement. The vocals explode about minute 50 in. Key change bridge, which is awesome. And it's just not something you hear a whole lot of anymore. Bridges with key changes. A lot of people don't even know what a bridge is. If you don't know what a bridge is, man, you got to go out there and listen to some good tunes. Greatest bridge of all time. I'll save that for another video. And then we end with this really uncomfortable, and it's better to listen to this in headphones. His music, by the way, in headphones is fantastic, and really hear everything. Beautiful stereo imaging. It's this really uncomfortable kind of dissonant vocal clash at the end of the song, and kind of like hair-raising sort of thing. It's very uncomfortable and very cool. So that's how it ends the song. Yes and No was inspired by kind of all the racial unrest in the United States, that we all, I'm in Canada, but man, we feel it here too. And you know what? We have our own problems here. And we need change. We need change more than anything. So Yes and No is all about that. It's a very laid back kind of soul groove, with just beautiful soaring vocals. You really hear him start to explore his upper range. About 3:45 in, you get this beautiful build up to the end. Very, very different chord progressions in this song. You know about what I'm talking about if you listen to it, which again, I really like. We get out of that. Sometimes we get stuck in this, 1-4-5 chord progression. And this is not like that at all. Very, very unusual, different chord progression, which I really like. And then we finished it off with the title track, Dim. Just beautiful, sparse. Starts off with just some soft strings and piano and just that killer voice. The song itself, I guess, is about, I think in Brian's description of it, was kind of reliving a traumatic event in kind of reverse and realizing there was nothing you could have done to change the events that happened. I'm not sure if this was based on an actual event or an imagined event. Not sure, but crazy cool idea for a song. At about 3 minutes in, the strings just build and build and build and never explode. But man, that's like the goosebumps moment, with the hair raising. How do you know when something's good musical? Well, it's when all the hair, the back of your neck stands up and you get those chills and those goosebumps, and it's like you can't even really explain how good it is. You just have to feel it. So it's hard to explain. So there you go, my friends. SYML has a concert. I think it's his first live in-person concert since the pandemic hit. It's this Sunday coming up, April 25th. It is also being live streamed, so you can buy tickets online. I got my tickets. If you don't have your tickets, you need to go out and you need to buy them right now. Can't say enough about the artist, about the music. Apparently, he's already working on a new album, and just the wealth of content that he's already put out is just you gotta watch. This is the artist to watch right now, in my humble opinion. Brian Fennell, SYML, is the guy. Go and listen to his tunes, but just be ready for it. Okay, it's intense. It is intense experience. You're probably not going to just put it on, just be like, while you're doing your daily chores. This is music that you got to sit down and listen to and absorb. Headphones, just really give it all. If there's any longtime SYML fans out there, if there's anybody that I hung out with on the Zoom meeting, drop a link in the comment. I'd love to hang out, love to get to know some of you. I've connected with a couple of other artists. I think Brian's music really appeals to musical artists because, I think we have a really good appreciation of how much goes into these songs. And maybe I'll see you at the SYML show on Sunday. Stay safe, my friends.